we live, y'all.
It's Saturday
Up,
Night
we are
Live.
live on YouTube. Let me pull up the chat so I can see the live
Good.
stream chat. All right, we're good to go. Welcome back
Yeah.
to the channel. We're gonna do my podcast and my live stream simultaneously today because I didn't want to do them separate and I didn't want to go live late and have to repeat myself on my live. So we're going to be on my channel today, and you guys can go over to Down for the Count and watch if you want, or listen on Spotify later on if you missed something or whatever. So we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to briefly go over SummerSlam briefly, okay? And then we're going to get into this new WWE ESPN merger that is happening, and it's supposed to go into effect in 2026. And then we're going to talk about NXT. We got Don over here as a special guest today, and then we got the OGs and Nicole and Alexis. So everybody just say hi.
Ah.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay. SummerSlam, 2-night event. It's a lot going on. Lots of surprises. Some of them were great. Others were happening. And we ain't gonna go in piece by piece. We just gonna talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and then you're gonna give a rating. Okay. So let's start with Nicole. We'll go to Alexis, then we go to Donna, then I'll finish it off.
I can't really speak too much about night one because I was at a bachelorette party and I sort of rewatched it, sort of not. But as a whole, I felt like SummerSlam wasn't bad. I felt like booking wise it was a little bit disjointed. I felt like night two, even though it was pretty good, got pretty tiring after a while because there's so many stipulation matches.
Yeah.
All the stipulation matches were on the second night, which was so weird to me. So I think that's the one thing I kind of would have done differently is make it a little bit more even keeled because there, like I said, there's no reason for the cage match, the TLC match. What else was that weird match? That obviously
match.
the street fight.
The street fight, yeah.
So basically every match except for Dom and except for Dom and what's his name? Dom and AJ was a specialty match.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. So that's
No, I
what
think you're correct.
I don't
yeah,
think you're wrong
so
here.
that was a choice, which seems to be a pattern for Hunter right now. He's here right now.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
So that is what it is. But as a whole, I mean, it was all right. I've seen worse SummerSlams. I've seen better SummerSlams. I've seen worse. I just liked how I was right about Cody.
I hate her for that.
Okay, I'll wait till my turn and then I'll get it.
Which I was okay with him winning because low key, John should never won the belt in the first place, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like it was not needed. But it's whatever. I'm not even really pulsed about it, but I don't know.
It was just
Wasn't
okay for you.
Could have been worse, could have been better.
Fair enough. Alexis, you're up.
So I did not watch SummerSlam. I was actually on a little impromptu vacation because, goddamn it, I deserved one. But I managed to catch it in clips. And from what I've seen, I can't even remember anything from the first night. Like, I guess it was okay. Second night is when I really saw people like acting out about it. Especially that crazy fucking tag match where the real VIP or MVP of that match was Candice LeRae taking that scary ass fall off that ladder. Like I legit thought she like hurt herself, and she's just like, "I'm fine," and I'm like, "This woman is not human. She is not human."
Oh,
I
she hurt herself.
I don't
She just got back up.
Yeah.
know. I deal with this.
She fucked herself up.
Candice LeRae is the most hardcore women I have ever seen in wrestling, just due to the fact she's so fucking tiny. He will sell your shit like a motherfucker. Like, especially when Cedric Alexander did the lumbar check on her and she went flying when they were
Yeah,
in
he
the.
said he was like, I didn't kill this poor white woman.
He
Oh
really
my
thought
god, they fin. He thought
that
he hurt that lady.
bitch flew. Like she
He
flew
said,
a
"Oh, she is dead.
like
Damn, there go my career."
he legit thought he hurt her. Like the way she like it, and it's just like it's really fucked up because I was watching the clips with my husband and without even thinking, because we're so used to saying SEC, that's what happens when you get involved with men's business. And my husband looks at me like this most off kilter look, like, what? And that's an inside joke. Don't worry, it's fine. I can. Um, I I'm very. I don't know. Like, I was really shocked that Cody won because I was thinking, like, oh shit, Nicole's losing her absolute shit right now because we were right. I have stated from the beginning I did not like the fact that Cena won the title. I agree with Nicole. I don't think he ever had the title. Um, I'm gonna be a little bit more controversial. I don't like this whole retirement run that he's doing because to me it just seems like The Rock had a lot to do in it because he was one of the main players at WrestleMania and all this crap leading up to it, and now he's not there. So it's like, okay, am I happy that we got a Cena heel turn, like an actual legit Cena heel turn? Okay, yeah, let's give you, here's a bone, chew on it, whatever. But like, now what? We are in August. We have September, October, November, December. We have 4 months left. Now what do you do? And then just fucking mention the elephant in the room. Lesnar came back,
There's your
and
answer right there.
Oh, yes, yeah, pretty much.
And that's what we finna do for the next 4 months
Yep.
that's how you
until
fucking.
Mania.
And then people are like, well, Cena wanted to have blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, Cena sucks too then. Because everyone's talking about, yeah, there is the legal going on with Lesnar right now, and I know we'll probably talk about that later because people are dumb. That's just something I've learned to deal with for the last almost 40 years of my life. People are dumb. Like, granted, there are people who are smart and they understand and they have like common sense, but other people, you need to literally help them do a connect the dot drawing of shit. That he's back. No one asked for this. If we get this for the last 4 months, this is all we get. Then they are going to have the most unseasoned match in Paris. And I forgot who said in one of our group chats, it's like F5, 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 attitude adjustment, attitude adjustment, attitude adjustment. And then more than likely, it's going to be a double disqualification leading this shit all the way to Survivor Series. And if that's the case, I haven't been watching already, especially anytime Cena's involved. But I will not be watching anytime that man or that fucking Lego Goro is on my fucking TV.
Well, Don, how do you feel about SummerSlam?
um. Well, I've already said it last week. I felt like the tag match was a little bloated.
Yeah.
Still feel that way, despite the match being great or whatever. That wasn't in the question. It just felt like it was too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But night one, night one was something. It was there.
Wow.
Okay. Night two is what took the cake. I'm really upset that Jay didn't win. Well, I'm not really upset. Mildly upset. Um, Tiffany's getting boring.
Mm.
She's talking about the mean girl act is all she know. Well, apparently you don't really know shit because you're not even giving that. But we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, because I need to
But
know because shitting on this match. I have
go
not.
ahead.
I just people were shitting on this match. I have not seen clips of it, but like people again are defending her over some bullshit and trying to give Jade the blues. That's all I keep fucking hearing, but no one's showing me shit.
Okay,
It's always
I'll explain
about
it after Donnie
Jay not
finishes.
being ready. She addressed it herself. She said everybody want to say I'm not ready, but like it just take time. Never mind the fact she's only 5 years in. Purely wrestling. She didn't have a PC. She didn't have that time to go to NXT and train. And before we saw Tiffany, it was like a year and a half before we saw her.
And when you saw her, she
But
was
I can tell
trained.
you what Jay has and that Tiffany doesn't, and that's character. Tiffany
Yeah.
had a character. She did. And it was good. Now you have nothing. And you know when you started having nothing, when you start talking about that girl divorce,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
that's when it really started to show that you had nothing.
Facts.
Okay. First of all, I'm just gonna tell you, I liked night one of SummerSlam over night two. Um, I preferred it.
Oh,
It was a
she's always
better
an oddball.
pacing. I liked it better. It had a better pacing. The lead up to the end was better. It wasn't over bloated. It just was a better show from start to finish. Um, every match on the card wasn't great at night one, but it kept my interest. I wanted to watch to see how things are going to play
Mm-hmm.
out. Night two was just bloated. I feel like they should have swapped a few things when it came to both of these nights. Number one, the tag team should have been on the first night.
Yes.
Tag team should have been on night
Yes.
one, and you should have made Jacob and them go first for night two, mainly because their match
Yes.
was short. For it to be in a steel cage, it was short. It wasn't a lot going on in that match, if we being fair. To be honest, you could have pulled them from the card completely, and I hate to say this, but you could have, and they could have been Friday. They should have been on Friday Night SmackDown.
No, because
Um,
I don't
and
even know.
that would have gave the tag teams more time to space out all the shit that they were doing. Because when you watch that match, it was so fast. I was overstimulated because it was always something happening. You did not get a break. You
That's
like,
what I
damn,
said.
slow this motherfucker
So I'm too
down.
high for this shit. It's too much going on.
It was so much happening. It was so much happening at once. And I was just like, okay, wait a minute. Wait. And I realized they're pressed for time. So they're moving, they're moving, they're
Mm-hmm.
moving, they're moving. So I was like, okay. I said, okay, give them a little bit of grace. They doing the best they can given the time frame that they have. Cool. But that goes back to what Nicole was saying. That was Triple H's fault. In his booking and in his haste of booking, I don't know if they booked this last minute or whatever the case may be. They did not allot the time for that, and they should have. They had enough time on night one to put this match on night one. It should have been there. That would have given them the time to be able to do what they needed to do. They could have
That
extended
cage
out.
match low key should have been on night one.
Should have been
I say
somewhere else rather than
put the
where it
tag team on
was.
night one. I preferred it, but
The tag team match was so good. I liked it on night two because I felt like it would stay in your memory longer as it deserved.
But I will say between the two nights, the card was a little bit unbalanced
It was heavily unbalanced.
because you got all this championship matches on night two, which I get. You want it to be the seller, but then you got all this filler shit on night one, which
That
goes to what I said a long time ago. Everybody shouldn't be on the pay per view card. I don't care.
that's what I was seeing when I was coming back from from Florida, and I actually had time to sit down and read stuff. People were saying this is a reason why not every Big Four pay-per-view needs to be 2 nights long, because they will. And I understand every pay-per-view has to have like filler matches or come
Hmm.
down or whatever, but this was a 2 night event, and people were saying they were falling asleep through the first night of it. And I'm just thinking, it's like, imagine paying money. And we know how much SummerSlam tickets can be. Imagine paying money and going,
Child,
leaving.
I damn near fell asleep at Evolution.
I mean, hell, think about it. WrestleMania, first night of Mania sucked. And I
Hmm.
don't know. People were not happy. And this is just someone who said it. They're like, this is proof that not every pay per view needs to be 2 nights long. Mania is the feuds in, storylines in, and it's their biggest show of the year. There's no reason why SummerSlam needs to be that freaking big.
I
It's just
disagree. I disagree. I
I
do think it
mean,
should be 2 nights. I just think they got to learn how to balance the cards. So you can't have a show where there's nothing but championship matches. That's not that doesn't work. And pay-per-views usually bounce off of the non-title bouts to begin with. So it's not smart to just book
hmm,
this per titles. I say the problem is the fact that it wasn't balanced. I think Nicole said it first, and then Don was backing her up. But it was that it wasn't spread out enough amongst the 2 nights to ensure that it wasn't just night one had maybe one or two championship matches, and then oh shit, you okay?
bro, that's that shit going down.
Oh my
Okay, babe.
god.
Okay, babe. And then night two was just overloaded with championship matches,
I'm
and
just getting to where I need to be.
like night two was overloaded with championship matches, and it was overloaded with stipulation matches. They did not spread the wealth. That's the problem. It's not the matches that were on the card, because I didn't have a problem with night one as much as everybody else did. It was two matches on there that a lot of people didn't care for. It was Karrion Cross and Zayn's match, and the only reason why people didn't wasn't mad at that is because they wanted to see Cross. And then it was Drew McIntyre's match with Jelly Roll, the tag team match, which was fine. It wasn't a bad match. It was
I turned
okay.
that shit off, and then I was like, oh my
hmm?
god, they wrapped up yet?
No, no,
Oh my gosh.
It
it
came out at
wasn't
eight
bad.
o'clock.
It wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a bad match. For Jelly Roll to be there, he did everything that he could to make it work, and he took a lot of bumps. He took a lot of bumps. So kudos to you, Jelly Roll, because you better than me. I like being a pampered celebrity, and that's what I would have
Yeah,
done.
because I've been like, high key, I'm too famous to be taking all these bumps.
Thank you, thank you. Cardi B had her
And
ass
I'd
on the
be dead.
barricade, sitting down.
God.
I can't with her. She cracks me up.
Came out there. She was just talking like she was talking to one of her friends, opening up the show. Y'all
I
like
was
this
like,
album?
this is a mess. And she's just happy to be here. That's what I want to see. When we have celebrity, I just want them to be happy to be here.
Yep.
Right? That's how you know they're having fun, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'd
She was
I
rather.
just
like.
talking about shit.
Oh
I'd,
shit, we lost Donnie.
uh-oh. He'll come back. No,
I just enjoyed. I liked night one because the pacing of night one was better to me than night two was. As far as Jay Cargill and Tiffany Stratton go, a lot of people are blaming Jay Cargill for that match, but that's not fair, and it's not her fault either. When you
you're
watch the match, of course, even with the finish of the match, the finish, everything, obviously, Tiffany was supposed to keep her championship. The only way that would happen is if Tiffany was by the ropes. Tiffany was not in position. She was not there. So Jay had to pull her over to get her foot on the ropes. So she made it seem like she was over pinning to exaggerate the fact that she was winning. To me, she had more ring awareness than Tiffany did. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. I don't understand why people are on Jay Cargill's ass so much. because it wasn't too long ago where Tiffany Stratton was having bullshit matches in NXT. Okay, let's
I
just keep it
mean,
real.
I say this as your friend, but we know why they fucking do. They're like that shit.
No, but I'm gonna tell the truth, and I give Jade the blues when she don't perform like she should. It's not that she's not performing; it's just that she, in this particular match, if she doesn't look perfect, she somehow isn't good enough, and I just don't like that. And I'm like, y'all give everybody else all this grace, but she gets the end of the stick, and that's not fair. It's not fair at all. So, as far as I'm concerned, Jay Cargill did her job. Tiffany Stratton wasn't sent; she wasn't in her right position. So that ended up having to have to overcompensate for a lot of things. Overall, SummerSlam's two nights did what they were supposed to.
Wow.
Nicole, your TV up?
Shit, hold on.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, when you look at what is happening?
I think she's kept losing a battle with a remote.
No, Nicole is muted.
I didn't mute her.
No, she is.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. She is muted. It's not her. It's not her background that was causing the noise because she's muted now. So
I don't even
anyways,
know what just happened.
okay. So like I was saying, overall, if I had to give SummerSlam to both nights, I don't know. I give it a 7.9 out of 10. I think they did okay. I think for a two-night event, they just got to learn how to balance the card better. They did good on the surprises. As far as Brock Lesnar is concerned, I'll say this, and then where I'm not going to dwell on this any longer. When it comes to Brock Lesnar, I have no desire to watch anything that that man is doing. Even if the allegations did not come out, I still wouldn't be interested because I already know how that's going to go. And while John Cena may have requested him to come because he was one of his greatest adversaries, he can't have Edge. Edge is in AEW, so that's out. Um, I mean, John Cena, I don't know where his mindset is in terms of what's going on, but I'll say this. When it comes to the uh the allegations, Janelle Grant's lawyers also came out and made a statement. But the reality of the situation is a lot of y'all want to assume that he was cleared. The deal with this is he wasn't cleared of anything. What happened was he didn't never fulfill his end of the bargain. But Janelle Grant was still pimped out to him and he willingly accepted. In the documents, when you read the court docs, which we read them, we read the court documents. He was too drunk to do anything. It doesn't mean that he wouldn't have. She also was an incentive to get him to resign. Let me reiterate, she was a bargaining chip to get him to resign with the WWE. And if that ain't enough for you to understand the man's caliber and his thought process, I don't know what is. But again, y'all make excuses for people and you move the goalposts when it's people that you like. Not to mention, all weekend, WWE has been advertising fucking Trump and this bullshit. That shit is not cool either. I'm not a fan of that. But again,
Like y'all literally let this man sit in our face and
like
say get
it's
healthy.
really disappointing too because they've been remaining neutral, and I'd rather they do that than to do all of this. It's
Yeah.
disappointing, and I don't want politics in my wrestling. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
The
that.
one thing that I find it so funny about this conversation in general, especially when you talk with MAGA people in that sector, and it's like they're so quick to always yap about everything's political now, blah, 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 but they've literally made an entire political movement their personalities.
Yes.
and then they keep integrating it into normal stuff. And this is the same thing with, like, again, I don't want to go on a tangent, and this is why I feel like they're also, hopefully whenever we get to the next president, we really need to do a lot of work with keeping church out of state as well,
I agree.
because that's another big thing. So all of this, like, quote unquote fake morality and shit is rooted in stuff that should not be in politics, because it's supposed to be a neutral party. My thing is that I think I'm trying to figure out how to word this, and I'm not even trying to figure out how to word this because I'm to not hurt anyone's feelings, because I don't give a damn about that. It's just like how I'm trying to phrase it. My thing is that I feel like they, and I mean, like, Hunter feels like he can get away with quote unquote being neutral, but also going in like these programs with that president and blah blah, because of A, Linda, and B, this is probably the only time in his life, and this is like everybody associated in that family would ever be this close to a political office.
Because they've never did anything like this with any other. In fact,
Yes. And I
office,
think it's because they never had a connections to get there. And I don't even think, and this is even like a party thing. This is a connections thing.
you go
Yes.
back and you look, any presidential elect, whether they were Republican or Democrat, WWE used to make fun of them. They made fun of Bush. They really made fun of Clinton. They had Hillary impersonators. They had Obama impersonators. They like took jabs at people in political office, and
As
this
they
is
should, and that's fine.
It's
it's like
entertainment.
we said, wrestling is drag, and what does drag do? It makes fun, uh, satire of what's going on in current, at the hellscape we have right now, and you can choose anything at this point. I didn't like the fact that they showed him. I love that the fact that people booed the crap out of this when they showed him. And I'm even seeing like people who, who are for Trump or were for Trump or whatever, and they're like, what does this have to do with wrestling? Because again, I don't know how many times we have to preach this from the rooftop. Wrestling is escapism for a lot of people, especially with a lot of shit going on right now. It's scary times we live in, and people sometimes, no matter what side of the political thing you're on, we always don't want politics in our face. We need like 3 or 4 hours just to like let our brains go to mush and turn to jelly. I'm not supporting anybody at this point. I just want to make this perfectly clear. But that I don't like it. I don't like it. And for people, and it's always real funny because there's a there was a picture from when they were all standing with him in the Oval Office the first time he was in office. And I was like, did y'all keep forgetting that? Did y'all keep forgetting this? Because it's like every time they show this, everyone wants to act like they've never seen it before. I'm like, these pictures have been online since 2016. There's a picture of them in the Oval Office. I just, look, I'm all for people being outraged over that, but don't act like this is new.
And
Okay,
then also, how do you think we got fucking wrestling during COVID?
That's facts.
yep,
The
we did.
the only reason we got wrestling during COVID was because Vince chummied up to Trump and was like, da 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 da, do this and that, which is like, I hate to say it, I'm glad he did it, because he also made sure a lot of people had money to feed their families.
Yeah.
So it's a catch
And
22 with that aspect.
mhm. But
So
think about
that's
it, they
why I don't
also
understand why, and I agree, Alexis. I don't understand why people are acting so fucking shocked. I'm like, this been going on for years
Yeah.
with
think
them.
like this is not new at all, and it blows my mind. It's just like I find it real funny. Like I have my own issues with WWE right now. Everybody has issues with WWE right now, but you know this ain't new. And I'm sorry, Vince is a scumbag. Do you not think he interacts with other scumbags? And to add on to what Nicole said, the reason why it was held in Florida is because somehow the Santis or the Satan or whatever you want to call him, okay, he was they were like, hey, if you let us do this in Florida, which was, one of the big hot spots for COVID, and that's why after a while, everyone, because AEW did the same thing, whether it was AEW or WWE, they were getting to a point where people were catching COVID like left and right because Florida was one of the most unregulated states when it came to this shit.
Excuse me.
So don't act shocked when every time you get mad at WWE and not getting your way, you're like, well, he's a Trump supporter. No shit, he's a Trump supporter. Like,
How the hell do you think they kept the lights on?
That's facts.
it's like if you're going to be outraged, keep that outrage because a lot of people are getting upset from what I'm seeing that Triple H was saying they weren't going to do a press conference for SummerSlam or they weren't going to do press conferences going forward or something like that. And a lot of people are speculating. Now, this is just what I've seen online. This ain't me, okay? But a lot of people are speculating because of the ads that they showed and Lesnar coming back. Triple H knew exactly what he was going to walk into if he did have that but
Oh, I 100% think that.
think that too.
I'm not like, that was
Nicole, you going in and
literally
out,
my
babe.
first thought.
You said that was literally your first thought when you heard it too?
Yep, that was my first thought as soon as I heard the no press conference thing.
Because he knew he was doing.
Because I don't think it's also because of, I do think Lesnar have to do something with it. I also think that he's sick of people like quote unquote questioning him. And I feel like that bothers him or gets under his skin more than he likes to admit, low key. So I think it also has to do with that as well.
I think this is a lot of scapegoating. Like people are choosing.
And that's my first thought. And also, people do ask dumb fucking questions at the table now. Like that guy with the fucking house order. The weird random ass questions towards the women. Like, I mean, I do think they should still have them. I think they should only have them at bigger shows, at least. But yeah, I was not saying the process was because that was they knew that was obviously going to probably be some fucking hoopla, which it turns out it was. But um, yeah, I think that was my first thought, but I also think it's a combination of things of why they're not doing press conferences. I think that with Lesnar has something to do with it. I also think like Triple H is sick of his feet getting held to the fire.
Well, that's a him problem because he's the one who's the media face of WWE. And if you're going to do fucked up shit, people are going to call you out on it, especially right now with everything being held under microscopes. And like you said, feet of fire. And it's like, some people honestly think this is a scapegoat because at press it's gotten like, when we found out that took TKO on. TKO had $3 billion in debt or something like that.
I don't
So,
know how much. I didn't even know they had it.
well, I didn't either till I saw this clip, and it's like, yeah, did y'all know when WWE and TKO merged together, WWE took on like $3 billion of debt that TKO was in, and I'm like, okay, that explains like all the advertisement and why there's the official Slim Jim tables of SummerSlam or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna say partially. Okay, so to make it plain, so it don't take forever to explain, all companies have some level of debt that they have to leverage when considering a merger.
Yes.
Debt is a part of the business. You literally are not going to have a business that fucking big without having any debt. However, I don't believe that they're doing all this advertising and everything to cover said debt because they would have already gotten half of the debt eaten by just the Netflix deal alone. Okay. So now we're talking about another multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar deal that we're getting ready to talk about next that probably would have killed the last of their debt and put them in the black. So no, they don't have to do all this advertising and all this other shit. They're trying to turn a profit. Profit is always put above everything. So yeah, they're gonna go back to Vegas. They're gonna do this because it's gonna make them money and they know people are going to go. Even if they don't get the same massive crowd that they got last year, they're going to have asses in those seats. And it doesn't matter. They're going to make money because they sold that ad space in the ring. They sold the ad space with Prime being everywhere. Prime bottles are next to the ring, which I think is stupid. I think that's stupid. But it's there. It is what it is. It's not about the debt. It's not about the debt. It's about turning a profit. And if you can sell your ass cheeks to make a profit, most people will. If you think about it, boxers and UFC fighters, they have advertisements on their shorts. NASCAR drivers, Formula One drivers, they're advertising for the sponsors that they drive
Oh,
for.
don't get me started on sponsors with
Like, am I
F1
wrong
because
though? Am I wrong?
no.
The car is decked out in sponsorship. The suits they wear, the driver suits they wear, sponsorship. Had their fucking helmets have the sponsors on it. So it's not a money, it's not a debt thing. It's not that. It's that they have the space. How much can we maximize? How much can we squeeze out of this? And that's what they're gonna do. You have to understand they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Greed is the number one thing. You're not going to be a millionaire or a billionaire rather, and your hands are unclean. It's just not possible. So they're going to be greedy. They're going to be greedy. They're going to be always looking for the next dollar. And the reason why they're going back to Vegas is because Vegas needs it. Apparently, according to Vegas, tourism is down and nobody's
Tourism
going to
actually is
Vegas.
down in Vegas. I can't give them
Tourism is
that.
down. So how do you get them to come back? Vegas got a big ass boost from Mania being there. Mania put on what, 5 shows? 4 or 5 shows, including the 2 night event. They made hella money that whole week during Vegas because it wasn't just WWE that was there. There were other wrestling promotions that was there. There were other concerts and shit going on, and people stayed in Vegas for a week to do a lot of different stuff to make sure they can get to damn kiosks and get their t-shirts and everything. The amount of money that Vegas made literally was going to sustain them for a while because tourism is down. And you thought you're talking about Trump and everything he's been doing. Have y'all been seeing on social media how empty the airports have been as of lately? Nobody's traveling to the United States. The reason why they're not traveling to the States is because they fear being locked up. There have been at least 5 stories I've come across of people who have come from across the pond and they got locked up as soon as they hit the shores from
and
U.S.
you know,
Customs, putting them in jail. And these people are prominent people where they live from. There was a female cop who got put in jail, Australian female cop put in jail because they said they didn't believe what she was telling them when she came over to the U.S. She spent that like 3 days. In jail. Didn't tell her family, didn't tell anybody anything. Just put her in jail. There's no tourism. There's nothing. They're not making the kind of money that they used to make anymore. Canadians are not coming down to the States either. They don't want to be a part of it because they don't like the shit Trump is saying. We're losing money more than we're gaining money. And because of that, it looks embarrassing to them. So now they have to compensate. They got to lean on the oligarchs to make themselves look good. And that's exactly what WWE's been doing because they're part of the conglomerate too.
Late stage capitalism at its best.
Thank you. Now it's up to you. It's up to you to decide what you will watch and what you won't. I have already made my decision. I have no desire to watch anything Brock Lesnar is doing. I don't give a fuck if this is John Cena's last run at the damn at anything. I don't give a damn. Anytime that shit comes up on my TV screen, you're not gonna get any commentary from me. You're not gonna see me doing anything talking about it. I don't care. I don't.
That
John Cena is entitled to pick whoever he wants to in terms of ending his run. It was always meant to go this way. It was always meant for John Cena to have his time as a heel, and then they were going to revert him back to a face, and he was going to end his career as a face. That was the time. They chose to do it at SummerSlam. Good for him. Good for them. But I am out. I am not watching that. I refuse. Because he's just gonna get his ass whooped for every match that he's gonna be in. It's gonna be an ass whooping until John Cena turns into Super Cena, and even then, it's still gonna be an ass whooping. He's gonna lose. Then Brock Lesnar's supposed to have his retirement match next year in Minneapolis.
My God.
Good luck with that. I mean, I don't. I have no desire to watch that either. I'm not watching it. It's I mean, I'm not opposed to you doing whatever you want to do. And to be fair to the regime, Brock Lesnar was dropped from the lawsuit mainly because they didn't have enough evidence to keep him included. Everything that they had was things that were going to happen but didn't happen. Okay, but there was an agreement, and it's in the document. Like I said, that girl was pimped out to Brock Lesnar, and the only reason why he didn't touch her was because he was too drunk to do so. So no, he wasn't cleared of anything, and I don't know why people can't seem to understand that a gray area is not a good area either when it comes to this type of shit.
No.
So I'm not. I'm out. I'm not going to be participating in watching anything that man does. I don't care. If y'all want to watch it, that's your business. But I'm gonna not watch that part. I'll support the other superstars and I'll watch everything they're doing. But John Cena and Brock Lesnar is they're gonna be on their own fucking with me. Um
Yep.
Then I just want to say one more thing, and then we can move on. And this is just being like my little punk rock anarchy self. Um, Fans, we have voices. If we can get Ron Killings rehired, and we go on there and we use our voice and we let them know, we use your voice. Companies like this will only understand if they're not making money. It sucks as much as it sucks. Don't buy merchandise. Don't watch it when they're on. Make it. But I mean, I can sit here and say that, but there's always going to be those people left over from the Attitude Era, or what is it, Ruthless Aggression Era, when all these guys were coming out. They're still going to be like, oh my God, we're going to have all these matches and Brock Lesnar can go up against Penta. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar and Penta. I don't want to see Penta doing that. Penta's above that shit. All these people.
Also on his last, I doubt he's. I think, in my opinion, he's going to have this match with Cena.
he's gonna be
Maybe something with Roman, depending on where he get placed at storylines, and he's going to disappear until his retirement shit starts in gear.
Yep.
So, which
He
really
been hanging around.
Yeah, but it's just also it got me think, I was never a big fan when they're like Cena's last tour. Okay, cool, I understand it. Cena did a lot for the company. blah blah blah, whatever, right? But I didn't like this. I didn't like it because and a lot of people are probably going to come for me. When they announced that, I'm like, okay, so is this going to be like the Cody universe over in AEW where nothing really means anything else to anything going on? And it's just going to be like Cena having his little 30-minute, 40-minute blocks in a pay-per-view or 20-minute promo on Raw, and then, it doesn't affect anything else for the rest of the show. I mean, I don't know. I'm ready for this shit to be over with. Like, we got 4 more months, so like it needs to. Can we hurry up, please? Like, we got other stuff.
I forgot about Cody Cinematic Universe and AEW. Speaking, I need to go watch AEW, but I'm trying to eat dinner. God, that was forever ago. That man should never book himself again in his entire life.
Yeah, because he booked himself out of championships. Stupid. Even he said
he had the goofiest booking, and I think he mentioned. Oh my God, that fucking feud with Anthony Ogogo.
I legit forgot about
Nicole stupid.
I will never fucking forget that because I watched that bullshit live. And I was like, are you on crack?
I totally forgot about that.
And then him thinking I was like, Cody Rhodes has solved racism apparently. Well, he didn't do that great of a job because it's still going on, Cody. I don't know what you did and did not do, but it did not work, my friend. So you need to go back to the drawing board.
Speaking of which, happy anniversary of the Montgomery Brawl, y'all. Just want to throw that out there.
Period. The chair. Give him the chair.
Lift every voice.
Nachi singing lift every voice.
Till earth and
Don, get her. Get her, Don. Don't you get on and sing with her.
The harmony
mess
of lift. I'm trying to see if I remember all the words. Bertie, lift every voice and rise high as the listening skies. As something sung till victory.
Yeah.
Has won. Sing a song. Something for and the fate time has. That's all I remember.
Nicole.
That's right.
A lighter. Where'd it go?
No.
I'm shocked I still remember that.
Girl, you barely had it.
Shout out to the NAACP.
Oh, I'm so tired of it.
I'm serious. That's how I know that song.
From the NAACP?
Yeah, my grandfather was the vice president of our county chapter back home. And obviously, like, I was always attached to my grandpa's hip, so I used to go. This is a fun fact about me. I'm also a lifetime member of the NAACP. So I used to go to all like the banquets, all of like fucking fundraising bullshit, you name it, my ass was there. And I was also, when we had a youth chapter in our county, I was also the president. And the only reason I was president, I had no business being a fucking president. It was literally nepotism. Like, there was no fucking reason. I should not have been president. I was way too young. I didn't fucking do anything. I made everybody else do everything.
Well, you were enough, and you didn't even know it.
Oh, no, I knew it.
She knew.
I knew.
She definitely knew.
Oh, I knew. I knew I was enough, baby.
She worked in with this today.
All right. So let's get to
So there you go. You learned something new today, everybody.
Right.
Things about Nicole. It's like always like new lore coming out. And I've known you for how long?
I have friends that I've known for years who say the same thing. They're like,
she ration it out. She give it to you when she feel like you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Can't
Good,
help
babe.
it. I'm a Scorpio. I don't like sharing things until it's relevant.
Fair enough.
Babe, wake up. New Nicole lore just dropped.
I can't. So now we get into the nitty gritty. So according to all of the sources, because everybody's losing their shit, ESPN is launching a new app on August 21st, and this app is going to include premium live events from WWE, and it is going to include the NFL Network and all NFL media. Okay, this app is the new ESPN app, and let me explain some things because some of y'all don't read.
Some of
You
y'all need
don't
to
read.
fucking relax.
Y'all don't read, and some of y'all don't listen. You don't listen. I need y'all to open y'all ears and listen. Okay. Now, if you already have services, a streaming service or cable or satellite service that you are allowed to watch TV on. That means if you are not watching TV digitally, like through a digital box or a wired antenna, you get your stuff through your streaming service, like YouTube TV, Hulu Live Plus, okay, Direct TV, Comcast, okay. Some of y'all might be Xfinity or Verizon because they also have services, okay. ESPN may already be included in your services, or they offer the bundle to be included in your services. Okay, now if you don't think you have it, call your service provider and
You
ask
probably
them
have
if
it.
you have ESPN Plus or the new ESPN app if you have it, and how do you access it. That's all y'all got to do. Now, for those of you who do not have a service provider, like I mentioned, then you have to pay the $30 a month. Well, what do you get for $30? You get
Oh, look at
every
Kyle find himself on my TV.
she's
Hold
a
on, I
mess.
gotta mute this.
You get every single PLE. That is everything. That's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and all of the PLEs in between. Now, what I saw from Nick Khan was Nick Khan got interviewed, and he basically said they're going to do 10 pay per views next year, and that's going to be the start. So they're gonna be one pay per view big, one more pay per view than AEW puts on every year. AEW does 9 pay per views at $49.99 a pay per view. That means if you pay for every single AEW pay per view, you are paying out $450 plus and some change a year. Whereas if you pay for the ESPN app and you are watching all the PLEs for $30 a month, you're paying $300 a month. I mean a year.
So wait, just so we can repeat it for people. This is going to be a completely new thing. It's not like Disney, Hulu. Well, Disney is absorbing Hulu, which really makes no sense because I can watch the same shit on Disney I can watch on Hulu and vice versa. Disney is absorbing Hulu, so that little deal that they had is not going to be existent anymore.
I think no. That is it's all encompassing. To okay. So Disney is Hulu. Hulu is Disney. They are one and the same. They're under the same parent company of Disney. Disney Plus is no longer going to be operating on its own anymore. It is absorbing everything else. So Hulu is going to be operating through Disney Plus. You're no longer going to have access to the Hulu app anymore because you're going to be going through Disney Plus to go to Hulu. Okay. It's going to be like when you go into the Hulu, into the Netflix app, or when you go into the Hulu app and you can see that there are different tiers in the app. You can go to like the movie section, you can go to like the TV show section, or you can you can look at different things. The same thing goes with Disney Plus. Instead of going to Disney Plus and just seeing the Disney movies, you'll also have the section for Hulu. Hulu will be absorbed into the Disney app. ESPN, however, is still going to operate on its own app. Now, I don't know if you can access it through Disney Plus's app. I'm not sure about that, but they're rolling out an entirely new app. This is a whole new service. And this service is going to operate under the Disney umbrella, just like Disney Plus and Hulu does. You will have access to WWE content through ESPN because ESPN owns the streaming rights now to WWE content. So everything that is on Peacock right now, next year, or slowly but surely throughout this year, is going to be pulled down and sent over to the ESPN app. By next year, the beginning of next year, Royal Rumble is going to stream on ESPN. It is not streaming on the Peacock network. In 2029, WWE's contract with NBC Universal for SmackDown is going to be up. They have not said where SmackDown is going to go, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's more than likely going to go to Netflix. I will send it to Netflix. Netflix, to me, has proven it has the streaming capability every week to keep up, and I would send it to Netflix just for that alone. They
When is that
already have
contract up? Sorry, I.
2029.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah. It's probably by 2029. I'll be on Netflix.
I think it'll be on Netflix. I don't think it's going anywhere. They already overseas. They already watch it on Netflix, so it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Overseas, they get everything on Netflix. They get Raw, SmackDown, NXT,
Mm-hmm.
all the PLEs, whether it's main roster. Look, I'm not trying to overstep you, Tiff. I'm just warning y'all now. VPNs, virtual private networks, are a good thing to have, especially if you travel a lot. Because one thing I will tell you, never use fucking public internet because that is the easiest way to get your shit stolen. Okay? Please believe me when I say this. I am somewhat a trained professional. Okay? But a lot, and I just see people are like, oh, VPNs, we'll just do. A lot of these companies are finding ways to counteract the VPNs. I'm not sure how they're able to do it, but a lot of times, like Netflix is getting kind of notorious for it, but there's a couple of other like streaming services that you cannot access because they know people are trying to access it with VPN. So you can try VPN. I would really, and I'm not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor us, that would be great. I would use NordVPN because I've actually was able to play with it, and it's actually really, really good. Like I know a lot of the YouTubers offer it, but like I've played around with it a few times, and it's just like you can get your hands on like I was watching. What was I doing? I was playing around with it, and I was able to find like Daria on Netflix, where you could just stream it on Netflix instead of having to go to like Paramount and all them. And I was just like, damn, this is yeah, right? Like this is literally one stop shop. Like I don't have to go anywhere else. Okay, like but as much as I would say yes, get a VPN. Most of your phones already have a VPN built into it, so please use it. But a lot of companies are trying to fight back against VPN usage. So just a heads up on that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just the techie nerd side of me came out really hard.
No, that's really good information.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people are having issues with this. They do not like the new price point of WWE and everything that's going on with his new launching center. A lot of you guys aren't going to have to pay the extra price. I had people when I went live on my Instagram ask me, like, you think they're going to make us pay extra? Are they going to add the $30 in? I'm going to be totally honest. Your initial cost for this is going to be what it is right now. They're not going to make you pay anything more right now, but just like with Peacock and Netflix, eventually it will go up.
Yeah, because people are talking about, well, Peacock is like 6.99. I said Peacock hasn't been 6.99 in a few years. I
No,
have the most minimum Peacock, and I think almost $10 gets
it
taken
is.
out of my account for it,
Yep,
and that is
yep.
the basic.
That's basic.
And my friends, which I have quite a few of my friends on my Peacock. For some reason, I have 5 million people on my Peacock. And then everyone always complains, especially for Love Island. They're like, get the fucking non-ads ones. I was like, well, give me money for the non-ads ones because I'm not on Peacock enough to care about it.
I agree.
I go on to watch whatever pay-per-views all the movies and shit that they have on there, everyone else does. I don't watch a lot. The only one that I was watching was Love Island, but I feel like, and that's it. And then I think what else? That's it. I don't watch nothing on. I randomly watched a movie like a couple. I got real fucking stoned and randomly watched that Wolfman movie that was on there. Other than
You
that,
did?
I'm not on Peacock. The most I was ever on Peacock, including WWE, was during the Olympics
The
Oh
reason
because
yeah.
all the content was on there, and I stayed on Peacock. I watched. That was the most I ever watched Peacock the entire few
I
years
remember
I
she was
had that
loving
net.
the Olympics.
I
I
love the Olympics. I love. That's the only time I care about this country is during the Olympics. I
know,
love the
like
Olympics.
when I got on Peacock, I think it
Can't
was like
wait.
it was. I don't think it was free, but I remember it was like it had just came out, and it was during 2020. And when you have a 4 year old or a 5 year old, 4 year old, 5 year old who go to school and she's home all the time and you can't take her anywhere, you're gonna sign up for every streaming service you can get your fucking hands on, okay? Because mommy needs her me time. Here, just go watch this for like an hour. I need a break. Um, but like I remember like Peacock was free, I think, because of like I don't remember, but I remember I was paying $4.99 a month just for additional stuff, and they finally got me though, Tiff. After all these years, I'm starting to see charges from Peacock on my fucking debit card. They finally caught up to me.
Catch up. I told you.
I think I got like a solid 3 years out of them not realizing they weren't taking my money. So there's that. Um, But yeah, I mean, I paid $4.99 for the additional WWE stuff. I wish they would just bring back the WWE Network. It's still available overseas because we
No,
get.
it's done now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
It's
never mind.
dead. That's why everybody watches on Netflix now because they finally
But
ended the WWE network in totality.
can we just admit that when we had the WWE Network, that's when we were living good because we had
They were
access
in
to.
their bag for the
Yeah, they
WWE
were.
network. I will give them that. They were
Yeah.
in their bag for the
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah, that
network.
ain't down.
They ate
It,
that shit up and then they
It was a
fucked it
good
all up.
network. It had its faults from it not being big enough to house all the people that was watching it.
Yeah.
That was the only problem. But like they did a really good job
They
at
could have figured out some fucking servers.
no
I
dead
mean,
ass.
Like
for
They
being
could have.
they low key they really could have figured out
Who
some
They
servers.
wasn't? Who
could
wasn't
have.
in
Because
reaching?
honestly, if they played their cards right, if they beefed up their servers enough and got enough shit backlogged and whatever and like got
Yep.
the data whatever, they could have had fucking SmackDown and Raw could have been on their own network.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and
It
they could.
wasn't that it wasn't reaching nobody, Don. That wasn't it. It was that every time we would get on there for the PLEs, it would
It
buffer
would
like
crash.
shit.
You would have to. I
Oh,
remember I would have to, even if I wasn't watching it, because you remember you could put it on. You know, I think Peacock kind of does this a little bit. You can
Mm-hmm.
put stuff on and it would just play. It would just play
Yep.
shit.
Yeah,
I would click on because it's like basically like what they do on their YouTube channel, like how they just have random shit playing 24/7 live.
Mm-hmm.
That's
mm-hmm.
what they did on WWE Network. So literally, and I remember I had to do this for SummerSlam. I put that shit on like 2 hours before the fucking pre-show
I had my shit on the
because
morning.
I knew once people started logging in, I would get fucked.
Yep.
and it
Every
just
time.
wasn't just like SummerSlam or Survivor Series
It
or
was
Wrestling.
every one of them.
It was
Every
every pay-per-view, even the
Yep.
shitty ones.
Yep.
watching Great Balls of Fire. God, you guys remember that one?
Yes.
That was
There was
actually a good show.
It was a good PLE though.
That was a good damn show.
That name
Yeah.
though is crazy.
nuts.
I loved
Some
it.
have a teenager on your marketing team without telling me you have a teenager on your marketing team. But like I was trying to watch the fucking Samoa Joe match, and every like 5 seconds it quit. It was like I don't even remember if it was that one. It was just like one of the ones that no one really watches. It was like I mean the matches weren't really that
Probably
hyped up.
fucking Night of
Like
Champions or some
Yeah.
shit.
even that it wasn't a
Honestly, I
five.
feel like it was Night of Champions now that I think about it.
It was like oh god, Fastlane or something like that. It was like on the really ones, and I was just watching it to have it, and
I must have missed Fastlane.
it kept like I don't it was review or PLE, and it just kept buffering to the point I had to like shut the app down, turn my count to 20 because you have 20 is a technical thing to do, then turn it back on, and then I had minutes to get back to watching it. I just wish they had more like bandwidth or whatever. We were spoiled. $10 a month, and I had complete ECW library.
I feel like they could have kept it going if they would have had to, if they would have beefed up the servers, if they would have set up tiers like they have for Netflix
And
for
I wouldn't have
Peacock.
been mad if they set up tiers.
Yep. And
I
then
wouldn't have been mad at it at all.
me either, because you could have had it so that the premium tier got all the PLEs, but if you got the lower tier, you didn't get everything, which I think is fair because you're not paying premium pricing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I felt like WWE was good, and the reason why it was good is because one of the things I really liked was the fact that you could go to certain matches on those PLEs.
Yeah, you didn't have
Search
to.
up, or
Yeah,
search
you
up
didn't
people
have to
and take
watch
you and
that, and you could
pinpoint all their
find those
matches.
PLEs.
Mhm.
You can find everything. You can find old SmackDown matches, old Raw matches. You can skip ahead. They had it all sectioned off by matches or segments. Like that 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 network was so ahead of its time, and nobody has been able to replicate it or do it better.
It's gonna be
Shout out to Stephanie.
things like the OG XFL. Remember, like the way they used to do the camera work? They had like overhead shots and stuff.
Yeah.
Did that shit for the NFL. The NFL took that idea.
And you know what? Hiram made a good point. Hiram said WWE Network was the shit. They had every current superstar on there, and if you click on them, you could go to their specific matches.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love that. I thought that was so cool. You could do that for the OG guys up there too, like for Shawn Michaels, Triple H, all the OG guys that was up there. You could go and look at their specific matches and not have to go through an entire catalog of shit. The only thing I think that they didn't do well was they didn't always have the episodes of Raw and SmackDown up there fast enough. That was
It
the
was
only thing I didn't like. Peacock never has it up there fast enough. Like Peacock take 30 days to put last week's episode of Raw and SmackDown up there, which
but you know what you find?
SmackDown. That's always 6 weeks behind.
That that episode of SmackDown when NXT invaded, because you could find it on the WWE. Can't find it
Don't
now.
fucking get me started on that
I don't
episode. I
want
swear to
to.
God.
you know she gonna get mad.
I'm getting mad.
No, that's my favorite episode of SmackDown. I
not my
have
favorite
not
match
watched
on
it
it.
in so long because it's not on there. It's so fucking hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Get mad.
Yeah. Now it's not even, you can't even search up
You can't
shows
even
because
search
they
it.
moving stuff
No.
over. Because I was
Dude,
watching old Raws and I'm like, I want to get back to watching the old ones again. And I can't because they're nowhere to
well,
be found.
So I don't know how they're gonna set this up for ESPN, but they're supposed to be the ones to maintaining the streaming rights for all the PLEs. Now, Roman and Cody was doing press work this week for WWE. Roman was on First Take talking about it, and he basically just was like, it's really cool that we get to evolve as a company and move forward. He said that it's really awesome that we're now being put on the same league as the NFL and other sports. He said that's a really cool thing. And it is because they are in that league. When you think about WrestleMania and SummerSlam, nobody else is doing numbers like that but the NFL. Okay. So they are in the same
NFL
league.
is barely getting that now because everybody's so pissed off about it.
Yep.
what do the NFL do now?
It's just they suck.
Well, yeah, we told you that.
Yeah, they suck. Also, there's like low key, which I don't think that they're gonna let get anywhere. There's low key a cheating scandal going on right now.
And then they'll stop them from using smelling salts and those boomsticks before they wrestle.
And
They said
ammonia.
they can't use that stuff anymore. So some players are really pissed about it. But it they use that sometimes with concussion protocols, and it throws off their concussion testing. So they've outlawed it, so they can't use it at all.
Well, you can use something like I have a background in medical. I know too much shit, but I'm just too out of myself. Uh, they use the smell salts is to make sure, like, bring you back. Like, if you're just knocked a little bit. I've seen it happen. Like, in the old movies, like the women faint, they have to put that stuff up their nose to see if they
Yeah.
pretty much to make sure you're safe. Like, that's pretty much what it.
What they found is that some of the players were abusing it.
Of
So
course,
because of
Of course
that,
they were.
and some of the people on the staff were using it to go around the concussion protocols. So if a player got knocked down really hard, if they needed him to stay in the game, they would take him out to the side, give him the smelling salts or give him the boomstick, and then he would be refreshed and back. He would be able to pass the concussion test, even
who's
though
that?
he still may have concussion symptoms. Rod, am I lying? Am I lying? Okay. He would still be able to fake the test to get past to be able to go out there and play. That is the reason why they've canceled, they basically barred them from using them so that these players can, one, so they can stop, being to their own detriment, and two, so they can stop fucking cheating, because that's cheating. If you go out there and you get knocked out, I don't care how good of a player you are, you're under concussion protocol until further notice.
Mhm.
Period. Now, some of the
Get
guys
your ass
are
out the
like, well,
way.
I'm going to retire because sometimes we need a little pick me up. I'm like, okay, well, get a cup of coffee, bitch, because you cannot go out there sniffing
Bitch,
fucking.
if you don't dry swallow some pre-workout and call it a
Thank
fucking
you.
day,
Go
Well,
drink a
why?
Pre-workouts
Celsius.
is
Shit.
crazy.
literally,
Go drink three
literally drink some
Celsius.
pre-workout. It'll last literally the entire time you're out in the game. Do
Just,
that.
That's
just,
facts.
just go like right
I
up your
think it
nose,
was George
like burn.
Kittle. It
But
was George Kittle that said he was thinking about retiring
that
Okay,
because,
dude,
retire. Damn, nigga.
yeah,
man,
Okay. Go ahead.
he said, I'm
God,
thinking about retiring because, like, this is getting ridiculous. And it's just like, no, it's not.
You
Like,
know
they
your
got to
ass
look out
want to
for
get in
their,
the ring anyway, so
y'all got to
fucking
look out.
retire.
Somebody got to look out for y'all safety. Y'all don't want to look out for your safety. Somebody got to.
They're gonna
And
end up like I
obviously,
Right.
almost called him Aaron Rod. I almost called that man Aaron Rodgers.
uh,
Speak
girl,
of Aaron Rodgers, do you think he actually got married? I think it's a lie.
they said he got married.
You never
what?
heard? You can. Is Gerard in there?
Right. Hold on.
AJ,
Let me take y'all on speaker. Hold on. I got to put y'all on speaker. Hold tight. All right. Can you hear him?
Did you
Let me
hear
turn
about
it up
the
a
air?
little
You
bit.
know, Aaron Rodgers got married, and you know the whole weird like discourse about it.
Not knew he got married, but what was the weird discourse?
The weird discourse is that no one knows who this quote unquote wife is, and no one has seen her.
oh, that's shady.
Oh, so we hiding bitches now? That's what we doing?
So he never
Why?
gave in. He just like I think it was like right before, like right when he got signed, was like, oh, like I got married over the summer. Everybody was like, what?
Yeah,
And
because I
then
remember.
there's no register, there's no like marriage certificate
There's no
because
marriage.
obviously that's public records. There's
So,
no there's none of that. Also, like paparazzi, which is also, this is a little much, and this is invasion of privacy. There's been paparazzi circling his properties and stuff like that. Nowhere to be found. Just him.
Why would you lie about something like
so
that?
we
That
doing the
nigga is
same
so
thing
fucking.
back
He is
then
so weird.
because
But I
he.
was trying to call not Aaron Rodgers. Who's that man who's a concussion and killed him people?
Aaron
Yeah,
Hernandez,
Yes.
yeah.
I was like, did people forget Aaron Hernandez existed?
probably.
So it sounds like he pretty much doing the same thing he did a couple years ago with the vaccine about saying he was vaccinated, had fake documents and stuff drawn up, and he wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah,
But
because
why would you lie about
I
that?
because
don't
Dirt
know
Sheik
because
and Dumas been clocking his tea about him being gay for a while now, and it's
because
been
it
like
was weird.
ramped up
They think
for
he gay?
like, oh,
I mean,
I
because
think he's gay,
it was
hundred
weird the whole
percent.
Mary thing
Just
because he
be
was
gay. Shit.
because he literally was there during the non-voluntary workouts. Didn't have no like the little rubber, the sports wetting band. Nothing was on his left hand.
Yeah, it's
Then all of a sudden,
weird.
training camp started. Where everybody got to report back. All of a sudden, he married. Nobody knew what the fuck happened. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm married now." We like, because he said this shit on Pat McAfee show. He's like, "Yeah, I'm married now." And everybody's looking at him like, "Word, really?"
What?
Who the fuck cares?
Ain't
Who
no way.
cares?
There's no way.
I personally think this is me talking. This is probably just him throwing that out there for people to get off his ass. He was playing like dog shit the last 2 years.
That's a very left field take.
I don't
To
think it's that.
pretend
I
you're
think it's a
married.
weird beard because that lady, who is that lady? And it's so weird because she's like still in love with him. That one actress, she don't be wearing deodorant.
Was
What's
it
her name?
Olivia?
Olivia Munn?
No, I don't like
No,
that
because
bitch
she
either. That's that bitch. That's another weird bitch.
Yeah,
she got
weird.
Um,
lipstick on that
the
baby.
girl who
Yeah.
is in not Hunger Games, but the shit that was like Hunger Games, but didn't get as popular. What's that
Oh, the
girl's
Divergent
name?
series chick.
Oh my gosh, Shailene Woodley.
Oh,
He dated her too?
He was. They were together for. They were engaged. They were together
they
for
were.
years.
Maybe it's an NFL player. Of course, they be
They were
women.
together for years. They were together for like at least 4, 5, 6 years.
I only remember Olivia Munn.
If he's
I
not
I
gay,
always remember Olivia Munn because she acts like she's not passed around and she is passed around. I'm fine with people getting passed around. Just stay in your lane. And speaking of passed around, we should probably be talking about Raw soon.
Yeah, we'll get
no,
to it.
But
I need something else. I need a violent sport to watch. Hockey's coming back in a few months, so I'm excited about that. But I need to start like watching
It
shit.
ain't violent enough for her.
All I
I know,
know,
and they're
100%
not
basketball,
really.
hockey, Colorado.
F1 is just like depressing right now. And
Damn.
it's like they're not really letting the title fight people really fight it out because they're on the same fucking team.
Oh,
So
oh, y'all
it's
want proof?
so it's so annoying.
What's the question about hockey?
Yeah.
Let's
No,
Alexis,
y'all want proof that they're
what
listening to
draw?
us. Since you
What,
start talking about F1, Nicole, I get Google News flashes about F1 updates. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nicole did it. All our phones just done synced and
Because I
everything.
want people to know I want my friends to know what's going on.
what the
Because
hell
the
is
only
going on with
people
you?
that I can talk to that's not in like the Discord that I'm in is that it's like my friend's fucking dad. That's the only
Oh
person I
hell
know in real
no.
life that what is. But I love his dad. I love these people. But we were
I
like talking about because he was like he actually I went with him and our friend. He's also my friend's dad that like likes wrestling. So like I went to SmackDown with them a year ago, 2 years ago. It was us and and then his now fiance. But anyways, he was like, "Have you ever been to F1 a race?" I was like, "No, I want to go," but I was like, since I'm not going to WrestleMania next year, I want to supplement that as my quote unquote what would have been like my WrestleMania trip. Um, and I was like, I really, even though I was like, even though I kind of want to go overseas, but I kind of don't want to go overseas. But I was like, I really want to go to Coda, which is which is not the Vegas one, which is the Austin one.
there's one in there's one in St. Pete. They do it every year. I think it's the F1 rally, and
No,
it's
that's they don't have that one anymore. It's IndyCar.
oh, that sucks. But no,
IndyCar is
I
really good. I started again. I don't know. I also started to get into IndyCar. I don't know as much, and their point system is very, very weird. But I do have someone that I root for, so I feel like I get far enough. But IndyCar is really good. IndyCar is also a lot cheaper than F1 as well. So I do want to go because paddock passes, and which I looked at it, which I was pissed because I couldn't get enough time off to go this year. You can one race that I was looking at, you get paddock passes, so it's like all 3 days. You get to walk the paddock, get to go to the go look at the garages, get to look at different stuff, be up in the fucking suites, get open bar, have food. Literally, you get 3 damn meals. They had like a
Damn.
breakfast buffet, something for lunch, and then they had dinner bites, and then an open bar. And it was like, and I forgot what's the price, and I was like, I paid like, and it was like maybe 200 and something, maybe almost three, and I was like, that's not even bad for 3 days and all that shit included.
$100? Or
Yeah.
that's not bad at all, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I was like, for me to get drunk and eat and watch cars go vroom for 3 days straight, that is a good fucking deal.
Uh,
Facts.
no, I mean this.
Alexis, Gerard had a question for you about
What the
was it hockey?
Mm-hmm.
is,
Okay, she listening.
What is going on with the Florida Panthers?
honey? I wish I knew. Like, what's not going on with them right now? Is the actual question you should be asking.
I
Uh,
distinctly remember like 5 or 6 years ago, people were laughing at that team. They'd have won the Stanley Cup twice in like the last 3 years, I think.
okay, so this goes back. I'm gonna put the Lightning in there too because the Lightning are my
Yeah.
boys. So I'll be honest, no one takes Florida teams seriously. They think we're jokes. I've actually been a Lightning fan since they came around since the early 90s, 1992. I went to the first fucking Lightning game. Almost got hit in the head by a hockey puck. My dad still has it, which is fun. Um, no, because I'm walking in my seats. I'm not even paying attention to my dad. My dad's talking to me. I'm excited. And I just walk and I see this thing like out the corner of my eye go like 3 inches from my face and hit the wall, and it sounded like a fucking hammer hit the wall. I look and there's a hockey puck, and I was like, oh shit. Because that doesn't come at you. So when they tell you watch out for pucks, they are not joking. They're not squishy. They're hard rubber disc. But getting back to what you're saying, they don't take Florida teams seriously. They thought the Buccaneers were a joke. They thought the Panthers were a joke. They thought the Lightning was a joke. They definitely kicked the Rays around a lot. So now all of a sudden, when Florida teams in general start winning, everybody wants to be like, what the fuck? Because our biggest thing, my biggest flex as a Lightning fan, we beat a Canadian team first time we ever went to the playoffs to get the Stanley Cup, and they fucking rioted because they got beat by the Florida team.
Because it was weird because Florida-based hockey teams has won the Stanley Cup 4 out of the last 6 years. The Lightning won it 2 years straight. Was about to do a three-peat, and I can't remember who they lost to the third year because they ended up going back the third straight year. And
That's
then
crazy. Okay,
end up
Florida.
losing it. And then I can't remember who went after that, but the Panthers won it this year, and then they won it the year before last.
Year before last, no one really thought, and so the Panthers weren't really my guys, but they were my father-in-law's team. So shout out to Daryl Sr. That was his team. So the Panthers would always get shit on. They were kind of like, even though they were technically around the same time as the Lightning, or if a little bit before, they got because so people in Tampa, because every time the Panthers and the Lightning played, it was always called the Battle for I-4 because the Panthers were kind of more stationed toward Miami. So Tampa never really claimed them as their team. They're like, oh, that's the Miami team, or Miami was like, no, they're Tampa. So no one, they were kind of jokes. But now all of a sudden they're starting to win Stanley Cups and shit, and people were like, oh, because I never thought in my life I see the Florida Panthers on the cover of a fucking NHL 2K25 or some shit. I'm like, okay, like it's about time. Now all we need is the fucking Dolphins and, everybody else down there to hurry the fuck up. So, come on, TikTok, y'all.
Dolphins has been tripping the past couple of years.
They're insane down there. Like they are legit one of the funniest teams to listen to when they mic up the players, because I'm convinced you have to be unhinged to play in Miami. Like you have to be unhinged. But
Well, everyone down there is fucking crazy. Like I love who's the coach? I love him and his little ankle biters that he be wearing. What's his name? It's Mike something, ain't it?
I think so, yeah, because he's like one of the youngest coaches in the
He was the
NFL.
youngest coach when he started. He was the youngest NFL, and I only really started to like them after I watched their season of Hard Knocks.
They are
Football.
They're talking about the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
mhm, the Miami.
And
Yeah,
when they look like Logic,
They
it looks like
still,
Logic to
and
me.
there's a shit ton of seasons of Hard Knocks. They have my favorite Hard Knocks season.
Hmm.
they're
I just
insane.
really, I really liked how they like presented themselves. I felt like they just were just like, we are what we are, whatever. They like did not take themselves too seriously, but they did take themselves seriously. Like they cared about their fans, they cared about like the people like that. Out of all the seasons I've watched, and I've watched a lot of seasons, they showed how they cared the most about their back office people than I've seen any other team.
Because you really don't hear like any shit coming out from the Dolphins like back area. Because people are. My dad went to long
They
time ago.
really care about those people, like they really make sure those people are taken care of. Like they always like big up them, like, and that's when I was like, okay, I really like these people.
Really, they take care of people, and like my dad, this was a long time ago, and was like, you know how sometimes seasons teams that don't normally play each other. So this was a long time ago. My dad went to Miami Dolphins. And my dad said all that was just one big party. People didn't care if they won or lost. They were just going there having fun, whatever. And it's just like Florida teams get slept on. But y'all got to remember, Buccaneers, we got Super Bowl rings. The Lightning have the Stanley Cup. Now the Panthers have the Stanley Cup. The Rays need to get the big ring, even though my biggest flex is a Rays fan. The first couple long time, we were jokes for the MLB. But then we got the name change, we got the new uniforms, we start kicking ass, we were fighting people. I'm like, okay, like I'm watching this. Um, in that first new season, we beat the Yankees and we beat the Red Sox. And as someone who lived in Florida and went to Rays games, anytime the Yankees or the Red Sox were in town, it was nothing but fans of theirs. There was no team, there was like no fans for the Rays. But then you start seeing people being bandwagoners and jumping on to the Rays thing. And like, oh, okay, so this is how you're gonna do it. I remember first time Rays were going to the playoffs. They were playing the Red Sox. They already took out the Yankees because we were like, okay, you know what? We beat the Yankees. We got New York to shut up for a year. We're cool, like we'll take small things when it happens to us. And I remember I was sick as a dog. And when I was living with my mom and dad, and I was sick as a dog. And when they beat the Red Sox, I jumped out of bed screaming, ran to the living room. My dad was watching the game. He was screaming. And like we both like hugged each other, like jumping up and down, like acting like idiots. Like a lot of good sports memories with my dad. That's like because me and him actually went to the game where they beat the Reds or the Commanders or whatever they're calling the Washington team now. But we were at that game in Raymond James Stadium where they won by a field goal, and that was emotional. I'm like, you know what? We made it to the Super Bowl. I don't care because everyone's like, oh, you guys are gonna lose to the Eagles. We kicked the Eagles' ass like right off the bat when they did that opening drive. I'm like, okay, we are here to like fuck some shit up. People just sleep. People just sleep on Florida teams. Y'all don't need to sleep on them because the less you respect us, the more we're gonna beat your favorite team and make you cry. And that's the story.
To go back to the streaming stuff, Hiram said he found that episode of SmackDown with the NXT invasion. He said that it was up there. Said yeah, they used that on during track as a booster, but they've never called it on. They said yes on Peacock. Hiram said it's up there. I don't know if it's up there. I haven't seen it, so y'all would have to go and check for yourselves to see if it's up there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble about the Florida teams. Those are just my guys right there.
No, you're fine. Quan said, speaking of Tampa, Alexis, did you mention you went to Tampa Bay Comic Con? Did you meet Steve Burns?
No, I did not meet Steve Burns. I was there for Boulder's Gate people, which are really cool. I got to meet the voice actor for a story, Neil Newbon. Very cool guy, very tall too. He's like 6 foot something. It made me feel short. Um, there was this cool little panel that they did on Saturday, and it was basically comparing how pro wrestling is real life anime. And the way they broke it down was really, really cool. They talked about like production value, which we always talk about, um, emotions, like all this kind of stuff. It was real cool. And they actually talked about the first modern wrestler who could be considered the blueprint for all wrestling kind of nowadays. Okay, so this is actually really cool. It was post-war Japan, so right after we dropped the bombs on them and shit, and
Bombs over Baghdad.
No.
so post World War II, Japan realized they were hurting really bad. So again, they needed escapism. So wrestling became a big thing. It was already a thing over there, but wrestling became a really big thing. And there was this guy, and I'll try to look his name up. I'll probably write something on the profile about it. I can't pronounce it because I don't want to give this man bad justice. His name was like Renchico or something like that. I can't remember. Um, he was actually the first guy or the first Japanese wrestler to really live up to the blueprint of what we see now as like the conquering hero. Because back in then, like we would have all the American stuff going over to Japan, putting our people at like New Japan, and then this guy would come out and be like the savior. It's like what the Japanese people needed at that point. But here's the cool thing. So post World War II Japan, America really had a lot of control of what they could put on the airwaves, which I did not know that. It's amazing what you learn outside of history books. So, or at least what you're taught in high school. So America had a
Honestly,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So had control of the airwaves. So you're probably thinking, Alexis, how did they have a pro-Japanese wrestler who was, beating up all the Americans that were going over there wrestling and considering being the conquering hero? Here's the funny thing. I want to do a whole episode about this guy. He was only half Japanese. He was half Japanese, half Korean. And the Japanese government was like, oh no, well, technically, since he's not full Japanese, could do this. But at that point, in 1945, 1946, post war, a lot of Americans just saw people from over in Asia and they just kind of lumped them all together in the same thing. It didn't matter if you were Korean, Chinese, Japanese, anything like that. Am I wrong?
Shit,
I mean,
no, I ain't nothing. Yeah.
No.
so they got away with having a basically their version of Hulk Hogan later on down the road. They got away with it because he was half Korean, half Japanese. So they leaned into the Japanese part and they made him the blueprint for the so-called, conquering hero. Look at all the shit that Cena's done, or like Roman, or even more Cody. All of it came from this guy. I was like, damn, this is actually really cool to learn about. So yeah, I think I'm gonna bring back what happened was and go into full length about it. But I was listening to him, and I was like, that is actually really fucking cool. I love wrestling history. It's so weird.
One more question. Quan wanted to know what day was that panel?
Hmm?
The panel, what day was that panel on?
Oh, it was Saturday at 5.
All right. So, y'all, we're going to go into NXT really quickly because we've been talking for a minute. All I'm going to tell y'all when it comes to the streaming service is first assess where your money is. If you have a provider, talk to your provider first and make sure that you can afford to pay for this. But the provider will tell you if it's already absorbed in your current contract. If you already have access to ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, or any of those things, ask if you can up your package. It won't up it by $30. They'll up it by the cost of the current bundle. Okay. Also, I would wait until August 21st to get your bundles because that's when they have the best incentives for new customers, and new customers are going to get better incentives than current customers. All right. So don't do anything drastic and go and get the app and shit right now. Just wait until they launch the app and everything is moving. They're going to have incentives like they might have a 90-day program where you might only pay $15 a month for those 90 days. And if you got another email, just switch off to a different email, bro. That's what the rest of us do. Do the same thing. Okay. Also, you can go in with somebody on this app. You ain't got to pay for it by yourself. It's all kinds of ways to do this without destituting yourself. And I don't think that it's something for y'all to complain about. I saw online a lot of people were saying, well, they're pricing all of us out of the app and this is all TKO's fault. WWE were making multi-billion-dollar deals before TKO came along, and they would have continued if TKO never came along. So I just want y'all to understand that this is a business thing. This isn't a TKO thing. It would have happened one way or another, and there are all kinds of ways to do things, and you don't have to constantly make it into a complaining content type of thing. Sometimes it's best to first go read and look at the stuff and make sure you have all your ducks in a row, then make your assessment. Okay? All right. So let's get into NXT. Okay. NXT had a couple matches on the card. From my understanding, I didn't get to watch everything. I got to see clips. So if I missed something, my apologies. But NXT had Rosso, Ruka, and Tatum close out the show. From what I understand, they close out the show. So I'll start. Before that, and let's get into what happened in the beginning. So we had Kaylani Jordan facing off against Blake Monroe. This match ended in a count out because Jordan Gray showed up and Blake ran. Like Blake ran. She did not stick around. She didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Blake ran as soon as Jordan Grace's music hit, she was out. Okay.
Period.
Now she ran, she had her car. Not Nicole saying period. She had her car on the side of the building waiting. And she went, jumped in her car. Jordan ran after her and she peeled out of there. Okay, it was raining like hell out there. Jordan Grace was having a whole fit, and Kaylani Jordan was mad because her match ended in a count out. She got the win, but you know Kaylani didn't want to win like that. Okay, so we had that. All right. Then we move on, and we had the match between the NXT Tag Team Champions Hank and Tank and Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors. These two lost this match, but they actually did pretty well. They almost was able to beat them, but Hank and Tank was able to rally and beat them down. Now,
Hank and Tank wrestle so good, and I feel like they don't get featured as much as they should.
Okay, I know I don't like to compare wrestlers to other wrestlers, but they give me such heavy machinery vibes. That's why I think I like them so much.
They really did very, very
honestly
well.
And this is gonna be might be crazy. I think they're better than Heavy Machinery.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like if you look at it, and I mean, they're comedic, and I love it, and I also think I just love the fact that these guys just look like two normal looking dudes that you would see like at a punk rock show, or just working on your car or just walking down the street or whatever. I think that's what one of them kind of looks like my husband too. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe that's what
I love Hank and Tank. I literally cried when they won at
I was very happy they won.
Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
Mind you, I was very God, I was down bad that day.
You were crying. You're like, my babies, I'm so proud.
No, but I was like exhausted because that fourth rope show was, speaking of short cage matches, I almost made that comparison because that's what happened at fourth row. Because they had literally watching a fucking cage match at 3 a.m. is so crazy to me. Um, but but literally that cage match was short as fuck. But literally, I was at that show and then all that, and then I was like, I was originally gonna try to go to Stand and Deliver, but I was like that turnaround for Mania, and then my Airbnb was so damn far, and then I was literally flying back home the next morning, super early as fuck, so I couldn't do it mentally and physically. But I was so sad because I was like, dang, I would have liked to been there to watch them get that, but it is what it is.
Well, they did beat the Chase
Kabuki
You guys,
Warriors.
but they ended up getting beat down by Dark State. Dark State made it very clear
I'm
that
so sick of them niggas. I swear to God.
they going after everybody, and they said that they not finished, and they weren't. Because
They need to be finished.
later on in the night, Trick Williams and Opa Femi was going bar for bar, word for word, and they ended up attacking all of them. They ended up taking out everybody. They made it very clear that NXT was under their control and they're taking over. And the first place they're starting is with them tag team titles, which I knew they were gonna do. They're just late to the party, and I don't care if they do or not because they don't provide anything for me personally.
The
So
only one that's memorable is Saquon. I don't remember his. What is his NXT name?
those are
Oh.
should.
I need Team U Shield to do.
Saquon Sugars is so fucking good. I don't like him in there.
Yeah, he goes by Sugars in here, but he goes by his name.
He is so fucking good. He is so good. He is so good. I do not like him in that faction because he is so leagues ahead of every single other person that's in there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna need Team U Shield to hurry up and actually do something because like
that's not even, to be honest with you, Alexis. They're not even that.
They're not even. They wish they were a Timu Shield at this point.
oh, that's even worse.
They're not. That's because of the way they've been booked. They had the momentum after the first couple of attacks. Right after they dismantled the family, they should have kept going, and they pulled them. They pulled them from TV. They weren't on TV for almost a month. You didn't see them. You didn't hear from them. Then all of a sudden they show up in TNA, and then they're popping up in NXT. But it's always one-off random shit. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and I was just like, this is giving that group that was out during COVID that Vince was trying to do to like keep people interested. And I wish he would have just put more time into it, and it would have
Oh,
worked.
Retribution.
Yeah, that's what it was given, and I just
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
I was
They're
like,
Team U
no.
Retribution. That's what they are.
I
I
was like,
got
this is not it.
Retribution. I forgot about them low key.
So they didn't do anything with them.
They would have if I feel like if they would have at least tried because they were throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks. I feel like if they would have given them an opportunity, they could have done something with them, but they just pretty much left them to the wolves, and I was just like, this sucks. But anyways, Miles Bourne beat Alexis King.
Thank God.
Period.
Alexis King has been pretty ableist these last couple of weeks, accusing Miles Bourne of not actually being deaf.
No, I don't like that. It's 2025. Come on, you can think of something different.
I don't like the idea of it, but it did allow Miles to be able to tell his story, which he could have done it in a different way
Yeah.
without um making Lexus King look like a total douche. Um, but
I'm so happy for Miles that he has this
Miles is doing,
platform.
and he's
Too.
very good. He's very very good. The Randy Orton comparisons are valid because his move set. If Randy let him use his moveset. He said you can definitely use it. He gave it to him.
You know, the one thing that I love about this with him is that if you notice when NXT does anything that like when he's talking or he's part of a segment, and they don't do this for I haven't seen them do it for anybody else, but they actually use like subtitles for it. So like, cause and like there was one where he actually commented, he's like, hey, thanks guys for putting subtitles on it so everyone can understand what's going on. And I was like, I don't think
Oh
they've
my
ever.
god, that makes me want to cry.
I didn't know they did that because I keep subtitles on my TV
I
all the
keep subtitles. Oh, I love a good. I feel like it's an age thing, low key.
time.
Because I was talking to my friend, and I was like, I can't watch. That's why I get mad at Netflix sometimes, and I have to fix it when I'm watching Raw. I can't like compute things sometimes without subtitles.
Because sometimes you miss stuff and the subtitles catch stuff that you didn't hear.
Yeah.
So I was like, I always watch it with subtitles, but you are correct. When he cut that long promo on NXT, that very first one when he was going after Obafemi, they did have subtitles up there for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he does his backstage interviews, they give him subtitles, and they gave him one when he did that thing with Vic, I believe. So
Yeah, it's like IG videos that they do it for too, which I don't think they normally did that, but like now it's like when he's a part of it or something he's part of, they put like captions up there, and I was like, damn, that's actually really cool. Okay, Sean, you're doing a lot better than Hunter right now, so I'll
I'm
give
trying
you.
to remember to turn mine on when I put videos
Oh,
up.
I can't wait
So
for that man to retire. Not Sean, obviously.
Hunter.
Never Sean.
I just think it's real funny not to derail from NXT, but I think it's just real funny that when it was announced that Hunter was officially in control of it and everyone was throwing, fucking parties and shit that, there's a new regime, the three of us were just like, y'all don't need to get your hopes up, enjoy it, but don't get your hopes up because as soon as he does something to piss you off, y'all are going to be one his head on a platter, and look what's been happening lately.
I
So
think that people don't really understand that Hunter is a human being. He's not going to be perfect. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what. When you make obvious mistakes, like your SummerSlam booking, that's the
Yeah,
kind of
that's
shit
crazy. I'll be
I'm
on his
gonna get
ass for
on you
that.
for. But stuff that I know is more of a corporate thing than rather just a Triple H thing. There's nothing that I'm gonna be able to say to fix that. But he does control booking. He does control that. He is the guy, and they've already established that with WWE Unreal. And then he goes to the superstars, and then they approve or veto it. So he has more power than he lets on, but he
Yes.
also isn't in control of every single thing like Vince McMahon was. He doesn't want that job. He only wants the job of creative. That's the only thing that I'm going to give him help for because he's already established that he does that. So I don't I don't I don't really have an issue with the way that things are going in WWE. I have a problem with how he books sometimes because I feel like he books himself into a corner or he's not always thinking ahead like he should. Like some of these storylines should already be planned out to the last minute. And I don't think that they're doing that. I think that they're going like maybe 2 or 3 months ahead. Then they stop, see how things are working, which is fine. It allows you time to pivot, but at the same time, you can box yourself into a corner. Like what they did with John Cena, they almost were boxed into a corner with Cena.
They were boxing a corner. That's not almost. They were boxing a corner with
Which is
that.
why Brock Lesnar is back. That's why they done brought Lesnar back because where else were they gonna go with this? John Cena's retirement tour would have ended at SummerSlam. Which if we're being fair, it should have. It would have been fine. If that was your
Yes.
last match, your epic battle, and you turned back face to go up against a face Cody and you were passing the torch to Cody, that's fine. You did a stellar job. It was a decent match. It wasn't bad. So if this was your last match, you could have rode off into the sunset here. But
Yeah. Because now at this point, it's like, who's going to be his last match now?
Lesnar probably.
No.
that sucks. He's got to give it to somebody. Like
I
he's
think
got,
it should be somebody new. I'm
it's got to be
still.
somebody like Braun Breaker,
I don't want it
Johnson
to be Braun
Reed.
Break. I really wish it would be Carmelo, to be honest.
I don't know. They ain't even
It
put
probably
Carmelo
won't
in the
because they
last couple
book
of
at him
weeks.
like the fucking Oh my god. They're booking him like
I'm like,
fucking Cross and
Yeah,
that and they're oh my god, they're really fucking pissing me off with him.
and I don't know if they're crossing them. It looks like that they might be renegotiating their contracts, which
It's
they
from
should.
what yeah, now it sounds like they're actually talking about it now because
Yeah,
at
which
first
I'm glad because I don't think they should lose Cross.
they
Um,
shouldn't. I don't want to go on a tangent because I feel like we've had plenty of those today, but I don't like what they're doing because they have so much untapped shit with him, and he also organically got the people behind him.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
him go. Let him go. Like we only got John Cena for a couple fucking months. So what? Half the men's roster is shooting a fucking movie.
Mhm. She ain't lying.
Let him go. Let him go, and let Scarlett get in the fucking ring too.
That's the only thing. Like I feel like you're doing too much holding her back. You need her. You don't have that many women on the roster to begin with. You're not bringing up the girls from NXT fast enough. Now before it was they was bringing them up too quick. Now they're not bringing them up fast
Now it's
enough.
too
Now
slow.
I'm just like at this point, I don't know. Like I know Sean wants to kind of solidify himself in NXT, but like to me, right now, after last get done with Nia Jax, she should no longer be in NXT. I don't care what nobody says, especially if they book her to win. She does not need to be there. She needs to be pulled. You need to
If
pull her,
if
Jordan.
JC wasn't a champ right now,
She
she's
need to
also
go.
someone else. She
Fallon too.
needs to go up. She
Fallon,
would do
her,
good.
yeah. Pull them all. Pull Fallon,
I know
JC.
That Jasmine girl got at least two more.
Jasmine
She
can
that bitch.
stay. I don't need
Jasmine
her.
got to stay there at least more years. But Fallon, and JC can go up. Who else can go up?
Send up
I
Jordan
would
Grace
maybe
because
keep Kalani for a little bit.
they can keep Kelani. Send up Jordan
They
Grace
could
because
keep
I'm
on.
thinking
Yeah, they could keep Kalani for 8 months.
Monica.
actually give
Jordan
Jordan Grace
Loki
the title. Send her up.
should go up after this Blake feud.
Mm-hmm.
She gotta go. So what we got? Jordan. So we got Jordan, JC, Fallon,
Lash need to go.
Lash. Sol Ruka low key could go up too.
Yeah, leave Zarya down there.
Yeah, Zari needs to stay up here because the way Rhea she would get compared too much to Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pull up Tatum too. I know a lot of people don't want
I
Tatum
would
to
yeah,
come
I'd
up,
probably pull her up too.
but
I
I'd
would
Mike,
pull
honestly
Tatum up.
pull and then honestly some of them bitches I would just put in a faction. So you can have them something to do.
Yeah, you can put Tatum and Lyra back together. They can stay help
You
beef
could
up that tag team.
put Tatum, make Lyra heel,
Yeah,
put Tatum, Lyra, and JC all in a faction.
yeah. Let Fallon run on her own. To me, Fallon worked better on her own.
She does work better by herself. Let her be a face again because she's a decent heel too.
She's a
I
better
think
face.
I like her better as a face. She
I
needs to be a
do.
face again.
Lash could be either or. I don't care. Let Lash work either way. She
Yeah,
work on both sides.
she would need to go to Raw though.
Oh, I really want her to be fighting with Jade though.
I don't. I want the opposite. I want them separated. I want her to go on Raw. And I feel like she has more to play with her personality. Like her
On
and
Raw?
Naomi. Like her and what's her name? Like her and Becky low key.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Her and Nikki Bella because she threw Nikki Bella out the
You right.
battle royal.
You right.
I would put her on Raw. That's just me. That's where she would go.
But they just gotta pull them up. And then
Yep.
once they balance out that women's roster some more, add some of them to the tag team women's division, so your women's division for the title don't get depleted, and then proceed forward from there. Because that's the only problem I have is his wonky booking, and then the way he sometimes lopsides books the big PLEs. That's the only problem I have. Moving on. Nia Jax went up against Thea Hill. She beat Thea Hill, obviously. Thea tried, but Nia beat her. And then she tried to cut a promo on Lash, but Lash wasn't having that shit. Lash came out there, didn't even finish her promo. She threw that mic on the ground and went to work. Okay. They had to hold them two hoes back. Them ladies was fighting the whole time. Their fight ended up running into Tatum and Soul Ruka's match because they never stopped fighting. They just kept banging. Now, afterwards, Channing Tatum and Channing Stacks, Channing Stacks, Lorenzo, Inamura had a match. Now, for whatever reason, they're incorporating Ariana Grace with Stacks and stuff, and it seems like they're gonna pair them up. They already together in real life, so it's just gonna seem very organic to pair them up, which is fine. Ariana came out there because I guess she didn't like the way Inamura was wrestling her man, so she came out there and slapped the shit out of Inamura. Just slapped the shit out of him because she didn't like the fact that he was being so rough with Stacks. Now, Inamura got back in the ring, and as the official got and was messing with her and dealing with her, Briggs came in there and attacked Inamura with a lariat and started beating him down. So they got to start booking NXT Heatwave at some point. I haven't heard no matches made for Heatwave, but Heatwave is supposed to be on the 24th of August. So if you see what's happening right now, you can kind of tell where the match card is going to end up when it comes to Heatwave. Now, the final match of the night was Tatum going up against Soul Ruka for the NXT Women's North American Championship. The Cullen was out there trying to help, but like I told you, Nia Jax and Lash was still fighting. They ended up coming out there brawling to ringside. This caused a big distraction on the outside, and it allowed for Soul Ruka to hit a Soul Snatcher and end the match, and that's how Tatum lost this particular battle for the NXT Championship. In between there, you got Ethan Page was out there with his ugly ass belt, and he was talking, and Tavion Heights came out there, was interrupting him, basically saying that he wanted to go after Ethan Page. And Ethan basically told him, "You ain't on my level, and you ain't in my league. You know, you might have to go ask your daddy." Which low key is funny because I said the same thing, and there's a rarity that I agree with Ethan Page on anything. But for you to have to wrestle to get out of a damn group is fucking nuts to me. I would have been like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyways, to back him up, Chelsea Green and her secret her service came out there and was talking cash shit about him, and she was like, "What you gonna do? Slap a woman? You can't hit hard enough." He was like, "No, I ain't gonna hit no woman." And then Ethan Page, stupid ass, came close enough and got punched in the face behind Chelsea. He was standing on her right side, and Tavion punched that man in his face on her right side. The Secret Her Service pulled her back, and Ethan Page was holding his face, and Tavion got, all the glory basically, and was, he lived his best life. That was a good moment for him. Now, Red Sinclair was backstage, and she, talked up Joe Hendry, and if you say his name, he will appear. He popped up, and this was around the time that Charlie was upset that he lost Miles Bourne and Tavion, and he was left with Ren, and Ren was just like, "What about Joe Hendry?" And he was like, "Who cares about Joe Hendry? Joe Hendry ain't shit." She said his name, he popped up, and Joe Hendry was like, "Well, since you don't fuck with me like that, we can have a match on NXT next week. Since you don't want me to be here, I'd rather spend my time wrestling than to be talking shit back here." So next week it's gonna be Joe Hendry versus Charlie Dixie. Okay. Now I don't know what they're gonna do about Dark State, but Dark State not only attacked Obafemi, but they also attacked Trick Williams. Now I don't know how they're gonna play this out, but it looks like they're gonna have Trick Williams and or Javon Evans face off against Obafemi at NXT Heatwave. I don't know if that's the way the route that they want to go. They haven't decided yet, as far as I know. I'm looking at it and I'm like, when are they gonna start announcing matches for this card? They have not said anything about Heatwave, as far as I know. Am I wrong?
Uh, no.
Crazy. That is crazy. Hold on a second.
I just know they're all insane down there in NXT, so it's just like. Has anyone got jumped in the parking lot lately?
No, nobody's got jumped in the parking lot.
Hmm.
They're having it in Lowell, Massachusetts for NXT Heatwave, which is fucking crazy.
Such an odd
Lowell,
place.
Lowell, Massachusetts. No, it's just Lowell, Massachusetts. It is. Rico said, I love how we can say this and it makes sense and they probably won't do it. True. She beat the brakes on Thea. She beat that girl, that poor girl. I like them together because they do give mob couple. Yeah, he's talking about Ariana and Stacks, which I think that's the route they're gonna go with them, which I don't have an issue with. I just want to see what they're gonna do. Plus, Stacks and Ariana are funny. They're funny. And if they give them the reins to be able to do what they want to do, they can really have some magic going on, especially if you put Stacks in the right kind of title contingency. Because it looked like they done took the NXT Heritage Cup out of play in its entirety. I ain't seen it. They ain't brought it back. They ain't did that. Yeah, that was it. I'm like, damn, it's the disrespect of the damn title. Jesus. My God, today. I'm like, okay, so we just not gonna talk about it. It don't exist. All right. All right, then. They haven't been, they said, according to this article, they haven't been to Lowell, Massachusetts since Battleground in May of 2023.
I just never heard of Lowell, Massachusetts a day in my life.
I've never heard of it either. Tiana said, did y'all talk about Nia and Lash? What y'all think about it? Yeah, we did.
We
But
did.
If you want to know what the girls felt about it, I'll let them answer because I talked about it. So I'll let them answer how they felt about Lash and Nia.
I mean, I like it. I think it's it's something for Nia to do. But also it's like a great stepping stone for Lash.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I give and we give Nia a lot of shit. But when it's time to put somebody over, she'll put them over.
Yeah. Yeah, she will.
She will. She's really good with upcoming talent. So I feel very comfortable about it. Because she low key is the reason Tiffany got popping, if we want to be for real.
Ain't no low key about it. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because everybody hated Nia. So if you hate Nia,
how did he get all the way over there and he put him through the table? What happened?
It was a glitch.
Nia is able to do. Not it's a glitch. Jesus took out the rounds, then made the.
Okay. I see what happened. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they just got rid of the Heritage Cup. They didn't even say it's defunct or nothing. They was just like, fuck y'all. Okay.
Didn't someone just fought for it though?
Yeah, Stacks. And then Tony threw it in the river.
Toss it in the river.
Well, I mean, I get it because low key the only person who should ever hold it is Noam Dar. So
thanks. But they ain't have to do it like that. They threw it in the river.
You know they're gonna once he comes back, they're gonna fish that bullshit or out the river or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah, and she always said she wanted to work with Lash and Jakara before they broke up. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Well,
I hate that for Jakara though, because Lash and Jakara could be tag team champions right now.
They could be. And it makes me so mad because it's not like she went fucking far.
She right there.
She's right there in TNA. She's signed now.
Why did you do that? Why?
Because they're fucking idiots.
They're so fucking stupid.
You could have just sent her to TNA.
Run across the street. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all.
Right. Like, why did you do that?
Her ass is just across the street.
But and this is no shade, but y'all got 17 white girls.
What did he just win? Hold on.
Y'all do. Y'all got 17 white girls back there. Kendall, Carrie, some other thing, and all of them hoes look exactly the same. And y'all kept them, put them on Evolve.
The
I'm
kid
just
is
calling.
dumbass over in the vault
That's what
right
I
now.
said. I was like, they low key should put people. Oh my god, I was so mad for her and I was like, as soon as I saw her in TNA, I mean, I was happy for her, but I was so fucking pissed off because
So
I was like,
angry.
you guys are so fucking stupid.
They're so dumb. But good for TNA because it could give Jakara some time to boost herself up. And WWE,
TNA needs some production work though.
yeah, they
They,
need help. They
they
need
need some
help.
help.
They need help because y'all damn near screwed up anniversary. God damn it. You know now.
Did y'all
And there's
see
no
that?
reason it should have been like that.
Did y'all see that clip of when Dana Brooke, I know, I mean Ash by Elegance and her little thing, and there was that dead air, and you hear people talking in the background, and then they do the countdown, and this was like 3 minutes of dead air on a
It was
fucking page.
live. I watched it.
Editing.
Fuck it,
I'm
we'll
like,
do
who was
it.
editing the clips? Like, why did you put that up there like that? How did that get past the editors? How did they get past that?
I need to know how that got past the production truck.
Because they would have got fired.
WWE, someone would have got fired.
Yep.
Someone there low key should get fired for that because that's
Someone should get
crazy.
fired.
That what else was really bad?
The
The whole
camera cutting.
all the cameras during Mike Santana's entrance was bad.
The production truck work when during the matches. Like one time they cut to the audience during a match. I was like, what are you doing? Ugh, it was horrible.
I
Anyways,
feel like that's such a discourse everywhere because that's like a really big discourse within F1 now, especially this past Grand Prix, because it's like and they're like, okay, there's literally people fighting for a spot and trying to overtake. Why are you showing someone in the audience reacting to it? Show me the fucking almost overtake. And then
Mhm.
something low key happens, and then they go to a wag so they can see their reaction, which I don't mind, which like I'm not as like like I'm not as like irritated about it with a lot of fans because there's like a group of fans who like, oh my god, if they see a wag get shown for fucking longer than 0.2 seconds, they fucking freak out and they have a meltdown about it on Twitter,
oh
which
my
is like a
god.
whole nother
What
thing.
is that, wife and girlfriend or something like that?
Yeah, like wife and
Yeah.
girlfriend. But there's also like a big discourse about wags within F1 because, and this is like to not to poo poo because again, I don't know what any of their, because just like the optics of it, of them literally, majority of them mostly being known because of like the driver or whatever, and them like just following around to all their races and blah blah, and then like seemingly have nothing else going on outside of them just like following their boyfriend around the world or husband or what. Well, mostly this is boyfriend. Very only like two of them are married right
I
now.
I had
But
to choose. I had to choose like my favorite wag. It would be oh, what's her face? Um, Kelsey, the girl who's married to the Philadelphia Eagles player
oh,
who just
Kelsey Kylie.
she's
I
like my
watch her. I listen to her podcast every once in a while. She's all right.
well, I mean, like,
Um,
unlike some people, she's like, yeah, no, she goes, I don't like going to his games. I think they're loud. I don't like it. But she's pretty much, she's like, she's not letting it get to her head
yeah.
about like what her husband's all about or what he
Well,
used to do
yeah,
with.
because she's from Philly, so she's like so she's a lifetime Eagles fan regardless of him.
Yeah, 'cause
Anyways.
I remember her saying like, yeah, even if he gets traded, I'm still an Eagles fan. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
not wearing.
she's just very non-political. But yeah, there's just like a whole discourse among like the women, and there's just like a big discord about women within F1, especially like the wags and shit, because like a lot of parasocial fans get very weird about them, and I was like, these men make fucking millions and millions of dollars a year. They're all fucking European, most of them 90 6-7% of them grew up rich or well enough off for them to be able to fund getting into F1 before they got sponsors, because it's a very, 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 that's like one of it's that's like the hardest sport to get into because it's very expensive. It's also a reason why and then also very centralized compared to like different areas. That's also why there's not a lot of Americans that are in F1, but that's like slowly change, not slowly, it's like slowly tricking there, because again, we don't have a lot of funnels for it. But it's like you're not going to meet these, you're never going to meet these men, and if you ever fucking meet them, they're not going to look twice at you, so just relax.
Parasocial relationships are fucking weird,
Yeah,
man. Like,
it's just like I don't get it. And there's this one driver, so everyone like hates. Well, she's like kind of trash, anyways. But again, it's like at that I don't care. So they're like, and she's a PR. I'm like, if he was in a PR relationship, he would not be with no bitch who has as much baggage as her. So let's not. So it's just like funny,
Rico said he want to be a wag. Look at this. He said, I want
huh?
to be a wag. Rico. He
of
said he
course, he
want
wants
to
to
be
I
a
would love
wag.
to be, honestly, if I would be a sports wag, I would be an F1 wag. I would never want to be a basketball, and I would never want to be a basketball, a football player, or a hockey wag. Only hockey because it's cold in there, and I don't like being cold.
Put me in the
Um
skybox and I'm straight.
Soccer maybe. I would
be.
Oh
entertain
no.
soccer.
Okay.
Baseball no.
No.
I wouldn't mind being
Um
a just as long as, like, look, I'll come to like maybe 1 or 2 of your games, but I got shit I got to do. I got to get a bachelor's degree. I want to get my master's. I want to get my PhD.
And
So,
Cardi is married to a baseball player.
like, I just want to do my own thing. Thank you very much.
yeah.
They tell me
And that's
about
what I'm saying. I was
me.
like, I would high key be an F1 wag, because I would just you'd just be able to travel, go to like these cool countries. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I want to go. I would even barely go to their fucking race.
Right?
I'm dead ass. You like we're in where someone and they were somewhere
Barcelona.
and I was like, oh my god, it was so cool. No, they were in Suzuka. I'm not going to that race, low key. Like I'm doing shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I would be somewhere and they're like, where are you at? And I'm at fucking Universal in Japan.
Right?
And he's
So
like, I
that low
raced
key
today.
sounds
I'd be
fun
like,
as
oh
hell.
man.
Like
I'm at
that
Donkey
sounds like
Kong
a good time.
country for you.
That sounds like a good time for real.
And I'd be like low key tough luck. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and especially when they go to like places like fucking like Amsterdam, they go to Saudi Arabia, Thais, they go to Miami. Miami, I'm in the streets. I don't give a damn about that race.
See,
I know she's a
I'm
cold
going out
content.
right.
to
Let's
She'll
not.
be eating.
I'm going out
Right.
to eat.
Where's your wife
I'm
ass
going
out?
shopping. I'm gonna be at Space Nightclub for 8 hours. I don't give a damn about that race.
That's crazy. I'm like, babe, you need to
I
show up.
would
I gotta have
maybe show
somebody in
up
my box.
halfway through. I would show up halfway through and it would be messy because they're like, there's an hour left. And I'll be like, okay.
I'll be like, look,
I'm here.
do your thing. I'll do my.
Yeah, and all these wags, and it's like again, like they're very like again, they do look really cute a lot of times, but they're very in like all these like obviously like Chanel's and like all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because I'm so American. And I'm like, why does it no one? I was like, why do none of them do like cute like designs of like their merch? Like I think of people like what's that girl's name? Kristen something.
Isn't she one of the Kansas City Chiefs players' wives that
Yes.
do
Yeah,
the
like
do
she
the
like I
jackets
love how
and
she dresses.
yeah, she does the jackets and she
Yeah,
does
like
the
I would be
pants.
dressing like that, or like Jordan Woods is a good example. Like
Um, her
So,
she makes the gear for what's the name's wife, Patrick Mahomes' wife.
Uh,
a lot. Though she makes gear for a lot of people's wives.
shit.
Yeah,
What's her name's wife has her own boutique out in Pittsburgh, and she got licensed to sell women's wear for like NFL players.
That's the lady we talking about. I think that's the same lady.
Yeah.
But she used to hand make
I
that
think
stuff.
it's the same one. Yeah,
Talking about,
because she's licensed through the NFL now.
Who is he? No, not Mike Tomlin's wife. No, it's a white lady.
Oh, okay.
That
Mike Tomlin's wife has a boutique like that
It's-
out in Pittsburgh.
No, it's a white lady.
Okay, so
She
it's
do
two
have
of them.
She do
No,
have
what
that
is her last name? It's like starts with a K.
What is it? It's somebody. Don't they play for the Chiefs?
No, it's Uzachek or something like that.
Hold on.
Uzachek.
I think it's Uzachek or something.
What fullback for the 49ers, I think?
I don't know. I can't think of who.
Yeah, because he got dropped for a second, low key, and then they picked him right back up.
For the 40, it is the 49ers. I get them confused because they colors the
same. Yeah, it's Kyle Uzachek.
It's Kyle Uzachek.
Yep.
Uzachek.
Oh, God, how do I know this?
See? That's why Nicole be asking, be screaming for you every time we be on here. Because your ass know everything. I told you, your damn encyclopedia. You don't believe. You don't believe.
Yeah, I was like, because I was blanking on them. But yeah, like I love what they wear. But I was like, I don't know if I'm like so American. I wouldn't wear their merch all the time, but at least one of the days, like I would come up in like a custom like team dress or like, so like I would like stunt or whatever and show up in like my showcase or something. And I was like, and that's what I'm saying. I was like, I love the fashion. I'm always here for the fashion. I was like, I love seeing the Misky dresses. I love seeing like some fucking Chanel jumpsuit from the 80s. I love that shit. But I want to see like some custom, like, and none of them do it.
Because all of them are bland. Like, look, if I know for a fact,
none of them. No, I do.
I could never be a WAP.
I think one of them is. I think one of them is American. I low key think it's like a European thing, high key.
I would just be like, look,
because all them bitches. Well, I mean, not all of them are European. Some of them bitches. Well, I consider Brazilians all of them. They're all European to me. But I feel like it's a regional thing.
Yeah,
and a money thing.
I mean,
it's a regional thing. It's a money thing, and I'm like, y'all was like, I can admit, like a lot of their team stuff, a lot of the different team stuff is very ugly. Like it's very ugly.
And that girl Kristen was able to make it cute. She got some cute shit. She has some cute stuff. She got tube tops with the Chiefs logo on the front. She's got the baggy pants. No, it's the Chiefs. I just saw it. She makes them for all.
I like the puffers.
Yeah, she's got.
I want her to make some brown.
What is that? That's not me. Hold on, Alexis. Yeah, that was coming from Alexis's phone. Yeah, it's a sound coming from yours, Alexis. We lost Nicole.
Oh, I just stepped outside. I can put it on mute real quick.
Okay. I don't know what happened to Nicole, but she dropped out right when she was talking.
Saying something about you when she made some browse stuff.
I don't know if she took herself off the live for a bit, but I know Dawn dropped out. So we had 2 hours anyway. We're at 2 hours anyway. So I'm gonna let Alexis go because it's 10:22 and I know she wants to go to bed. So I'm gonna let her go and I'll finish out and do SBC chat because we're good. We're good to go.
All right. That's how we end the episode.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll finish it in post. Don't worry.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.